With the new My Lowe's Pro Rewards American Express card, earn 3 points per dollar spent on Lowe's qualifying purchases for the first 6 months after card account opening. Plus, save 5% every day on eligible purchases at Lowe's and earn points on eligible purchases everywhere else Amex is accepted. Card members get more at Lowe's. Subject to credit approval. 5% can't be combined with any other offer. Exclusions and restrictions apply. Points subject to loyalty terms at Lowe's.com/terms and credit reward terms at Synchrony.com/MLPRA-terms. Visit Lowe's.com/business credit.
So-called backpacking experts will tell you a lot of things, but will tell you what actually to believe.
And more likely, what's a straight-up lie.
And why you shouldn't believe anything Carl says, no matter what he says.
Welcome to the Backpacking Blisters podcast, the family-friendly show that's tips and tales with a sense of humor. This episode is brought to you by the real backpacking gear experts, Enlighten Equipment. Check out the best ultralight gear at enlightenequipment.com. With me today is a man from the future 51st state, Jesse Manti.
And with me today is a liar, first of all, straight up liar, and a man whose country lies to everyone about how cool their national bird actually sounds. Carl, do you know what eagles actually sound like?
I don't know what bird sounds. What are you talking about?
You don't know what an eagle sounds like. You've heard it in every piece of American propaganda. They sound like seagulls. They don't sound nearly... This is what they sound like.
Okay. Yeah, it's fair.
Your national bird sounds like a seagull.
Do you mean our national bird when Alberta becomes
no.
the 51st state? Okay.
Okay, I'm not... You can't call me Governor Jesse.
All right. Well, we've got, speaking of lies, so we've got 10 lies the backpacking experts told you. This is like a play on one of your ideas for an episode. So what like inspired you to want to talk about this?
Well, I just feel like there's so many so-called experts out there, and there's like lots of great advice. But is it overhyped? Is it maybe overstretched? Is it maybe straight up lies? And I think it's beneficial for everyone to be able to listen and parse the truth from the fiction. Go on their happy, merry way. What do you think?
And then evaluate if what we're saying is actually the truth and figure out if it's worth listening to, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I don't lie, I should say. Yeah, I don't know about you, but
I've got some good ones for sure. Another thing I've got in the tidbit section is, okay, so over 8+ seasons, I can count on one hand how many times somebody said to me that I've actually had a good idea, like that they're going to actually use my idea. But
that says something, Carl. That really says something.
I know. People are just very satisfied with 35-pound packs and going really slow. It's fine.
That's fair.
One of my ideas, it's come up on a couple episodes recently. People are really interested and have asked me about it quite a bit. So I'm going to share my strategy for lightening the load. I've shared it before, but I'm going to get more specific this time. And yeah, I don't know if they're interested or not, if they're just trying to make me feel better, but it's going to be shared.
Probably just stroking your ego. That's probably all it is. I just want to clarify. This isn't
my ego. 8+ years, almost 8.5 years, and I've shared a million ideas, and people are mostly just like, "That's the worst idea ever." I don't think the ego is the issue here.
8 years in, people finally are like, "Okay, collectively, let's give him at least one, so he keeps going another 8 years."
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's one compliment every 8 years, and backpacking blisters continues. That's all we need.
That's right. All right, Bible verse of the episode, Proverbs 12:22. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who act faithfully are his delight. So who are the so-called backpacking experts out there that might be lying? Who are we talking about?
Well, I think, like, dare I say, anyone who works at REI or up here in Canada, MEC.
Like outdoor store.
Yeah, outdoor store owners. And not all of them. Like, not small mom pop shops. Those guys are probably great. But, like, big box outdoor retailers.
Okay.
For sure. Probably lying.
Gotcha. That's that. Okay. I got more than that, but...
Yeah, who do you think?
I've got YouTubers.
Okay, well, sure. I take that personally. Okay, I take that personally, Carl.
You should. Like, you put YouTubers / podcasters, but who I have down is I've got YouTubers, and I've got... There's a actually rising population of gear nerds who don't actually backpack. Like, they really do know backpacking gear. They really do. But they don't know it out in the field because they don't actually go backpacking.
They're like armchair gear experts.
Yeah.
I'd probably like classify myself as like a bit like
you go backpacking.
Yeah, I go backpacking, but like I probably am more of an armchair. Like I just love researching gear, but
okay.
Yeah, no, I get you. You need some field experience.
I'll tell you who they are. I'll tell you who specifically I'm talking about.
Like
who I
specific
think they are. I got to do more research on this.
John Kelly and Jeremiah. Oh, no, not our competition. Okay, sorry, not them.
They're not our competition. They're
I'm
our
just
friends.
joking.
The Durston clan. We're gonna have Durston on our show here in a couple weeks, maybe next week.
Oh man, you're throwing some shade at the cult.
I'm gonna ask him about it. I'm curious because I joined the Facebook group. I joined the clan, and I just feel like there's a lot of people that are talking about the gear, but they're not actually using the gear. So,
to be 100% honest, so I was an early adopter in the clan. We can't call it that. That sounds worse than cult, I think. But
probably.
It really does.
Tribe.
The Durstonite tribe. There we go. That's a better word. And yeah, I remember specifically one post of somebody who is like, I've got the X-Mid, and then when the Kakwa first came out, they got that, and they're like, I'll get everything Durston has, but it's like, but I haven't taken it on the trail yet. And I was like, and well, that's the next step. Like, the reason backpackers love this gear is because we know what not great gear is in the field. You just know what, like, I don't understand how you become a fan of a backpacking gear brand before going backpacking. Like, people were so excited to buy his stuff.
Right. And
so many of the people, like, this is not actually uncommon. Lots of beginners were finding out, and I get it because the X-Mid was a great, like, I would say beginner-friendly trekking pole tent. It's a really easy setup for beginners. So all of a sudden made trekking pole tents accessible to beginners. So I get that. But like, what? Like, why is that your first tent? Like, get out there and just something, and then go and start upgrading your gear to. Anyways, but I mean,
yeah. Well, I'm gonna dig in. I'm actually gonna sift through that Facebook site and see maybe it's just like, a few people here and there who I'm just like seeing their posts, but maybe there's actually a lot of usage. I don't know. We're gonna find out. But either way, that's for either the next episode or the episode after that. We'll see. I think you're in on that one. I think you're actually gonna be there for the Durston episode, though, right?
My fellow Canadian GDTer. Of course, I'm there. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Of course. All right.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see. Liar.
All right, but let's get to it, man. 10 lies backpacking experts tell you. First one, what you got?
The first lie that backpacking experts will tell you, Carl, get this, is that they are no agenda backpacking reviewers. Any YouTuber or backpacking reviewer who says like, oh, this is my unbiased opinion, my unbiased review, or I don't receive money or I don't receive free gear, I have no agendas.
Wait, are they saying that they don't receive free gear? Are they saying that?
There's some people, there's some YouTubers, and hey, I respect that. Like, there's some good YouTubers out there who say, I want to buy all my own gear. I don't want to have it given to me. Listen, I also understand why people say, hey, we want samples to be able to take this out in the field and test it. I get it from both sides. I'm not saying one or the other. But when somebody tries to sell themselves as saying that makes me have less biases or that makes me have no agendas, that's just not true. Like, every reviewer has an agenda. Every person has a bias. And I think it's actually more dishonest to pretend that you don't have a bias or an agenda rather than just to own up to it and say like, oh no, my agenda is to make the biggest view YouTube videos by telling people about what's wrong with this gear. Like, there's a channel out there who just like bashes on gear and a little bit of drama. This individual, I won't say names, touts themselves as no agenda. This is why I don't trust these people. So
okay.
And
has this person been on our podcast?
No.
Should we invite them on and ask them about that?
Maybe. I would love to do this actually.
And I've been pretty upfront about my agenda. Like, I'm definitely biased. First of all, my bias is that I want to like the gear.
Exactly.
If I'm going to go out and get the gear, and I'm probably a lot less picky than most folks, and so it takes a lot for me to be like, yeah, I don't like this. But if I've decided I don't like something, then I really don't like something, as evidenced by the show.
I love what you say, which is like the best test that you have is, would you take this on the next trip? Is it gear that you're not just just gear that you used once or twice to test it out and get a review of it, but gear that you're going to continually use. And I mean, eventually you're going to upgrade it. Eventually you're going to try new things, but it's that on. I mean, here, what are we selling? Everyone's selling something. We're selling tips and tales from a family-friendly perspective.
With a sense of humor, Jesse.
Laughter, humor. With a sense. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I know the motto. I know the tagline. With a sense of humor, right? So it's like, of course, our reviews are gonna reflect that. We're gonna be a little tongue in cheek. We're gonna like make some jokes about things. We're not gonna take it too seriously, but we're gonna give you our honest opinion. There's tips. there's tails with a sense of humor from a family-friendly perspective.
All right, a little saucy on your first one. I like it. Okay, my first one is if a company says it's only blank for the weight of a product, or it's about the size of something, or it's going to last a certain amount of time, and they might even show like visual comparisons or this and that, it's always wrong.
Yep.
It's always wrong. The worst of those three is
The Nalgene.
size comparison. Yeah, you're right.
Never right.
They always compare it to the size of a Nalgene bottle, and they'll show you a picture, and sometimes even in the picture, you're like, it's kind of close, but not really. And then when you actually get it and you're not as good at compressing it down and you don't have like a vacuum to suck out all the air, it's like twice the size. And so the idea is good because you want to know about how big it is if you're going to put it inside your pack, but you can't really trust that information.
Yeah, and size and shape and weight are also two completely different things.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I know, I totally agree. Like, you just can't trust those kind of comparisons. Like you said, I guess it gives you a little bit of a perspective, but don't bank on it. That's for sure.
Right. So it's just estimates, and they're probably pretty close in the weight. They have no idea how long stuff's going to last, but the size is kind of the one that gets me the most.
Yep.
Next one.
Here's a really popular myth, I would say. It's a lie that Big Down is paying you, and that is that you need waterproof down in order to have down sleeping bags, because
Is it waterproof or hydrophobic?
hydrophobic, treated down is what they would call it. DWR treated down.
Yes.
That matters in such a huge deal, but it doesn't. Down is actually like really good at repelling water by itself, generally speaking. In most conditions, you're totally fine. Steven from My Life Outdoors tested this and basically proved Big Down completely wrong by it on the margin helps, but really it's not that important.
It's more like a selling point, right?
It's a selling point, but totally, it's basically just marketing. It's just a lie. It's marketing lies.
Well, let me ask you this, because, so in my early days of backpacking, when I was doing the John Muir Trail, one of the guys had a down bag, and at the time, people had half the folks had down bags, half had synthetic. He had a down bag. He had a single wall tent, so he struggled with condensation. Every morning, he had significant wet spots where he had to dry out his bag in the sun. So why would that be true then?
Well, it's not that your down can't get wet. It can.
But it's just condensation. It's not even rain, though. It's not or spillage.
So here's the question. So it got wet. Did it actually compress, or is it just wet? He might have.
I didn't climb into his sleeping bag.
Well, you should have. That's
okay. That's weird. Pardon me. Wait. While you're drying it out, I'd like to test out the bag for future podcast use, even though podcasts don't exist yet.
Yeah. Well, all I'm saying is just because the down bag was wet, just because the surface material was wet, doesn't mean the down itself was wet. And just even because the down may have been a little clumpy, doesn't mean it had completely lost its ability to insulate.
I don't know about that.
And even one sec. And even the other thing is, sure, maybe his down was wet. Treated down and untreated down, when left in the sun to evaporates really quickly and lofts right back up.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Fair enough.
All right. Next.
I learned something. There you go.
Now you can take a down sleeping bag out there for the first time, Carl. Okay? You don't have to be afraid.
But they're all treated now, so it doesn't really even matter, right?
And all with cancer-causing chemicals. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Big Down is
They got PFAS, they got microplastics. Yeah.
Big Down's in cahoots with Big Pharma. I guarantee it.
That's right. Next one. I'm going to pick on companies again. I'm going to pick on sleeping bag companies. So they have comfort rating versus survival rating. How low can you go to be comfortable? How low can you go and still be alive after the night? Folks, nobody really knows. They don't really know how low. It's all massive estimates. I've got a buddy who sleeps really hot, and he probably doesn't even need a sleeping bag, even though it's 30 degrees outside, because his body just generates so much heat. Whereas I sleep really cold, and I probably need way more than your average person. And so having a general rating, really it should be a range, if anything, but they don't really know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was just trying to explain this to me and my wife. Took out our backpacking gear for the first time to get her ready for her first backpacking trip just this weekend, actually. And we were talking about I was behind Keel's playing that temperature rating isn't actually the temperature rating.
Right.
Yeah. It's what is it? Why would it be that way? I'm well, it's the you'll survive at this rating, but even that's not really true, because depends on who you are. You might still die if you're a woman. If you're a man, you might survive. It's such it makes no sense. It would honestly be so much better if they had like our values, even though our values aren't really reliable either now, the ASTM model's broken. That's a whole other thing. But something like the R value where it's like, oh, like this is rated one level warm, 2 level warm, 3 level warm, 4 level warm. And those can take you to, like you said, a temperature range. So if you're like, oh, I'm going summer camping, I only need a 1 level warm. Oh, I'm a cold sleeper.
That's catchy. That's super catchy. 1 level warm.
This is my patented marketing.
Be careful,
bag.
companies are going to steal that.
We'll call it 1 B&B, 2 B&B, 3 B&B, and 4 B&B. There you go.
Well, it's as good as R value, but nobody knows what the R stands for. But
it's true.
Anyway. Okay,
yeah.
I'm with.
Good
So
one.
it sounds
I
like
agree
you're with
with
me
you.
on that one. I'm with you. I just think like you could put down like just like sizing, like small, medium, large. Just have like medium, warm, hot, like whatever. But either way, just it's all an estimate, folks. All right, next one. What you got?
Ultralight sleeping pads are the biggest sham and lie. Like anyone who tells you that ultralight sleeping pads are worth it, Carl, is lying to you.
What? Okay, you got me on this one. Okay, what are we talking about here?
Anything from like the X-Light. Do you remember like the Uber Light came out and then like the half-size Uber Light came out where people were sleeping with like kid-size Uber lights, child-size Uber lights to save weight?
I tried that. I tried it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Or I remember my favorite one is Climate Static V, but then they have the Climate. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like hollow. Like it's like mostly just air gaps and it's just got some inflatable tubes around it. Bring a few extra ounces and have a sleeping pad that will make you comfortable at night. It's really worth it. And ultralight sleeping pads are just not.
So you're saying the lie is that they're worth it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The lie is that they're worth it. They're not. It's never, to me, it's anyone who's telling you it's worth shaving. Listen, I'm not saying you shouldn't be weight conscious with your sleeping pad, but I'm talking about the ultralight. I'm talking about the extreme.
Right.
Like going from anything sub 1 pound, you're going to be more comfortable while you're walking for 8 hours. But you're going to be more uncomfortable for days on end because you've been having horrible sleeps on a stupid ultralight pad.
Yeah, I had the crinkly one, the Thermarest, X-Light.
X-Light. It's like, I would say that's the verge. Anything less than that is really not worth it. But even that, it's the most uncomfortable pad.
My issue is that I got a smaller size intentionally. I got like a women's size medium where I could fit on it, not comfortably. It was 9 ounces and it compacts down to something like super. I was like, this is less than an Nalgene bottle. And I was so impressed with it. And so I tried toughing it out. It just didn't work, but I tried.
Exactly. It's
Yeah, you win. You got it. I'm with you.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
That's my point. Yeah.
All right, let's see. Next one is okay. So I did 2 company ones. I'll go with the YouTuber one. Anybody who's trying to sell you on a non-essential piece of gear that you need to have it or that it's important to have. Like these are things that you should have in your pack and here's why. Like they're trying to sell you on things. I'm talking about things like sleeping pad inflators or things like temperature monitors or things like doodads that you hang off your pack. If you've been convinced
like ditty bags
that these are not just for fun to have, but important or essential, they're lying to you.
Yeah, I agree. It's like big ditty bag. Same thing. They're lying to you. Sorry, Devin.
Don't get me started on bags. Don't get me started. You did that on purpose, didn't you? You're like bags, Carl, go. These things might be fun. Maybe it's like, you're lecture at them or like you hate inflating sleeping pads. And so as a result, you like using these things. Great. But if they're trying to tell you that they're important to have or essential to have, I mean, I even have like an episode that I thought would be fun to talk about like 10 essential non-essentials, right? But then I feel like I'd be this person. I'd be this liar.
Let's
Trying
do
to
that.
sell them on things that are non-essential.
No, sorry, I misunderstood that. Flip it. 10 non-essential essentials.
Yeah.
That's what you should do. 10 non-essential essentials, things that people are telling you are essential, but they're not. You really don't need the inflatable. You really don't need
I feel like
camp chair.
a non-essential essential is like you really don't need a sleeping bag or a tent. Like that's what you're talking about.
No, but those aren't non-essential, Carl. Like if you don't have one of those, you're probably not going backpacking.
But you're talking about okay. We're gonna go down a rabbit hole.
Anyway, no, I get what you're saying, and I agree. I think things from luxury to things have gone from like luxury to important way too fast.
Yep.
And like they're still really luxury. I mean, I started backpacking when people were still shoving clothes in t-shirts for their pillows.
People are still doing that now, man. They're still doing that.
Well, yeah, I heard that it's coming back, which is kind of crazy. But like, sleep, like pillows are not essential. They're amazing, and I would never go backpacking without an inflatable pillow, but they're not essential.
I think we're on the same page. Next one, what you got? This is your fourth one, I believe.
I think a big lie that gets out there is, and I'm going to keep it really general at first, but then I'll narrow it down, that waterproofing matters, or that being waterproof matters.
Like, what are we waterproofing here?
Exactly. Other than your tent, I don't think it matters really as much as people say. Your tent, and I would like one other exception, your sleeping bag, what your sleeping bag is in, and what your sleep clothes are in, or what your clothes are in.
So not even
rain jacket, you're still going to sweat. You're still going to get sopping wet on the inside. I don't know a single rain jacket that doesn't eventually wet out. Otherwise, you're bringing like one of those heavy rubber rain jackets, and nobody uses that. It's been proven. Rain jackets aren't waterproof. Waterproof shoes. Waterproof shoes aren't waterproof. You're going to sweat out your feet. They're not going to breathe. You're going to get blisters. And once water gets in, guess what? Water doesn't get out. Waterproof socks, that's a thing. Totally not worth it. Also a lie.
Yeah, dude, those are Ooh, that's a really good one. Those were popular a few years ago where people were trying to sell me. They're like, you got to try these ones now. These ones are good. And I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense because it's a lie. Waterproofing is not as big of a deal. Pack covers, all these things. It's not that you can't, it's not that you should just ignore it, Carl. It's not like, who cares? I just take my bag and throw it under the stream as I'm crossing it. Realistically, even in downpour situations, sure, some of your gear is going to get wet. Your sleeping pad gets wet. It still works. Your tent, you're probably going to be fine. Like your tent is probably the biggest thing. That needs to be watertight. You need to be able to set that up in the rain and not be wet if it rains all night.
But who are we talking about here? Like, so are you seeing either experts or YouTubers saying like waterproof everything? Like, who are we talking about here?
Well, yeah. Have a really good rain jacket. Bring those rain tarps. Put a pack cover on. Put everything in your backpack. Everything has to be in a Nylaflume bag or a pack liner. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. So your food cook kit gets wet inside of your wet backpack. It's fine.
Interesting.
You're gonna be okay.
Okay, on one trip I accidentally brought a water resistant jacket instead of a waterproof jacket, and it wasn't the best quality, so that could be part of the issue. But we had like a soaker day, and I was hiking up this pass, and I was getting soaked. And even though we were going uphill, I wasn't generating so much heat that I was like sweating inside. So I actually needed the jacket not only to be waterproof, but actually keep me a little bit warm. But because it was soaking through so fast, I was getting cold. I was like uncomfortable cold, I would say, for the next 24 hours as a result because I didn't have a good enough jacket. So even though I know what you're saying, the waterproof jackets do still wet out, but they can keep you more comfortable than non-waterproof jackets.
I agree. Again, it's not something you can completely push back, but I'll push back on you. It probably is because you didn't have proper insulation. You didn't have a good mid-layer. If you have a good mid-layer, your waterproof resistant jacket it's not meant to be keeping you warm. It's not an insulation.
Who brings a mid-layer?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's a whole other thing.
You're probably right. You're Canadian. You have to know how to layer because it's winter year round up there. So that makes sense.
Like to be fair, I've gone back. I've changed one of my rules. I used to swear I'd never bring rain pants. I almost got hypothermia on one trip because I didn't bring rain pants. I bring rain pants all the time. So I'm not saying you can.
But you're waterproof. They're waterproof.
Yeah, I know. But the main thing being for me in those was like, again, I only had one pair of pants, so having something I can wear around camp to warm back up, or having something that kind of protect my pants a little bit more since I only have one pair of pants, it's worth it. I'm just saying it's not the biggest thing to be afraid of.
This is the one that we're going to get the most pushback on, is my prediction.
Oh, we're going to get so much pushback.
And you're asking for it intentionally, I think.
Oh, bring it on.
I think you even just borderline believe what you're saying just to get a reaction.
No, okay.
I just offended you. You're just like, no, I believe it.
Wait a second. I do believe this. I do. Okay. No, I think, like I said, I think to bring a caveat, because I even say waterproofing doesn't matter with caveats. And so I put that there. I think it doesn't matter as much as people make it to me.
Okay.
In all your gear, your backpacking, your shoes, or your backpack, your shoes, your rain jacket. Yes, you need a rain jacket. Is any rain jacket perfectly waterproof? None of them are. Okay. So just get the best one you can get.
All right. Well, my next one is inspired from joy from YouTube. She made a comment. I don't remember what video it was on, but she just said, you know what? The more you sweat, pee, and cry, the less weight you're carrying.
Yeah.
Which is true.
No, you're right.
It's true. You're puzzling us. But I just thought about that, and I was like, you know what? That is true, and it's kind of a fun comment. But I think that, when we talk about water weight, I think a lot of the trip planners out there have kind of a blanket 2 liters of water at all times. 2 liters of water. I mean, you hear that with the Boy Scout troops. They're big Nalgene's, maybe even more than that. But 2 liters of water is pretty standard. And when I try to fight back against that with like strategizing your water, that's what people throw back in my face is you need to have 2 liters of water. What if there's a stream that's 100 yards down and we're gonna be stopping there anyway? No, we got to have 2 liters of water for that 100 yards. Like they just can't get beyond that. And so I think that generally speaking, it's safer to have 2 liters of water on you. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. But if you're trying to cut weight and travel more efficiently and just being knowledgeable about the land and kind of what water sources are ahead, I think that's a lie.
I think you and I mostly agree on this. I do think the caveat out there is you can be mistaken. We've all gone to a place where it's like, oh, the map says there's a stream here and the streams run dry. So like that can screw you up. So as long as you know where you're going, you know that there's a water source up ahead. Yeah, I agree. You can be pretty strategic with that.
It does. There's, some of the apps out there like Far Out have more reliable intel if you really want to dial that in. But
on the other case is also true. I've ran out of water having 2 liters of water, and still, like, just because you have 2 liters of water doesn't mean you're safe. Doesn't mean you necessarily are totally off. Because I was doing.
So how many should we bring then?
Well, that's my point. Is that you have to know the map. You have to know the trail. Like there's no amount that you can go through. You'll use it up.
Okay. For sure. Okay, Jesse, it's time for your Summit answer. The Summit answer of the episode is brought to you by Summit Something. It's time to get rid of the trashy, scribbled-on cardboard signs you're bringing to those mountain peaks. Get something that packs well, is ultralight and durable, Summit flags. These unique flags display art from your epic adventure that will show up better in pictures, videos, and on your wall at home. If you're looking for a sign, this is it. Check them out at something.com. What is your number one answer?
The biggest lie I've been told, also inspired from a YouTube, not comment, a YouTuber. I was lied to about the backpacking bidet. It is uncomfortable and horrible and a bad experience. Don't do it.
So anybody who says a backpacking bidet, specifically Justin Outdoors, is a liar.
Justin Outdoors, backpacking bidets, lies.
Okay, I love Justin Outdoors. He's one of my favorites.
You know what? Me too, but he lies about bidets.
Okay.
I can't speak ill of another Canadian other than his bidet usage.
All right, he's definitely championing the bidet for sure. Okay, we're getting pushback on this, Jess. You're not pulling any punches.
No. What's your Summit answer?
Okay, so my Summit answer, I feel like I'm going to be calling myself the liar here, but not my current self, my old self. So, because I used to work at REI.
You actually like buffs.
No. I used to work at REI, so I was this person. So this is the store clerk who steers you basically towards any piece of gear if they say it's the best. Most of the store clerks, not all of them, most of them haven't tried out all the gear, especially in the field, and they're either reiterating what's on the box or on the package, or sometimes they have, like a rep from the company come in and try to sell them on something, and then they just are simply like reiterating what that rep's saying. And so they don't really know. Periodically, you actually will get an expert that does know, but a lot of the store clerks don't really know what they're talking about. Case in point, early on, so I was in my 20s, and so I actually was backpacking and using the gear, but I only knew about like pure water filters, the old pump filters. And so anytime anybody came to the store, they're like, hey, what's a good water filter to get? I'm like, get this pure filter. This works. And for one time I had somebody who's like, well, what about this like sweet water filter over here? This like red and white one. Like, is this any good? I was like, I don't know. Never used it before. Like maybe it's actually better than the one that I've been talking about, but I've actually just never, I was straight up with the person. Mm-hmm. The fact that I'm like steering them away from that one towards the one I've used, like it makes sense because I've used that one, but I don't really know if it's the best one, right?
Yeah, no, that's a great example. You don't actually know, or sometimes it's you see, like as I used to be a server, so people would ask what's good on the menu, and I'd be like, well, everyone always orders the lasagna. That doesn't mean the lasagna is good. It's just what everyone always orders. You see everyone buying this water filter, it doesn't mean it's the best one. It's just branded, it's marketed, it's what people know or are familiar with, so they keep going to it. So you see it, and it's a confirmation bias, and you're like, well, that must be the best one. So
wait a second, but I thought that servers, like on their way back to the kitchen, they ate some of the leftovers.
We always do. We lick people's plates, especially if their name's Carl Mandroli.
I'm not joking. I thought that like if it's like untouched and they don't want a box, they actually would eat it. Am I wrong on that one?
Listen, different servers do different things, but I will say this. Most servers have served enough people to know that usually you don't want to eat what's coming back from the kitchen or from the table. There are a few exceptions where you're like, I'll take a risk. They look like good people.
Okay.
But
maybe you're just really hungry. You're like, I just need to eat.
There's other ways to get
so.
sneaky food in the kitchen if you're working as a server. No, I want to share a store clerk, really good example of what you're just talking about, actually like night and day difference. Young store clerk, new backpacker Jesse, goes into MEC here in Edmonton, REI basically of Canada. And he gives me this like, you need to get this backpack 55 liters. Don't go too much. It needs to be as low as possible because otherwise you'll fill it up, and that's more weight. And I'm like, okay, maybe that's what I'll do. And this older store rep comes over. He's like, listen, sorry, I'm not in the backpack department, but I just want to speak to what I just heard. This guy who's an employee here gets an employee discount. He also gets to test free gear, and they put them out with the best of the best, the cheapest or the most expensive gear, and they send them out on these trips to test these gears. He has access to all the best ultralight gear. It's like, you haven't gone backpacking yet? I was like, no. He's like, you don't have that gear, which means you're going to need a 65-liter backpack for your first trip. You're going to need something. He's like, what, do you have a down sleeping bag? I was like, no. He's like, you're going to need a 65-liter backpack. He's telling you to do this from his own experience, and his own experience is biased because he's getting discounts and promotional products. And I just so appreciated that. I was like, wow, thank you so much. Right. That's what I'm doing. I went and got a 65-liter backpack. I was very happy as a first-time backpacker because I did. That thing was packed to the max. I couldn't imagine if I'd gotten a smaller backpack.
I never got that kind of deal where they're like outfitting me for a trip or even letting me use stuff in the field. The closest was that what's funny about, like, circling back to that filter story is that the rep for the other company finally did come into our store and was like, hey, we'll sell you one of these for $10. I think they're going for like $50 at the time. And so they were selling it to us at a significant discount, which is cool. And so then I finally was able to use it, but I wasn't getting outfitted like the guy you're talking about.
No, he said so they would take their, and I know that they do this, they'll take their like representatives on like staff trips and they provide gear for them for that trip. It's not their personal gear.
Okay.
But it's like, here, you have this backpack, this sleeping pad, this, all these things. And so then they can go back into the store and be like, I used that last weekend. It's not them personally. But they also get a store discount. And they probably do that because they're Canadian. And that's probably better than your American stores. We're nicer. It's just...
They're just smarter up there.
That's true,
gear
too.
Stores. Yeah. Okay.
And better looking, but we don't make a big deal about that.
That's fine. That's right. All right. Well, Jesse, it's been a while, but this is the first time I think you've had trivia. You've got the trivia questions. Do you have a name for the trivia?
Lies trivia.
Lies trivia coming up right after this. All right. Trivia is brought to you by Magnet Designs. Check out the Bend Alpha pants that can do just about anything. Camp pants? Check. Joggers? Check. Base layer? Check. Hiking pants? Check. They're breathable, ultralight, hydrophobic, and compressible. These are different than any others you've seen. This is a livable garment that works just as well off the trail as it does on the trail, and they're between 3 and 5 ounces. Check them out by Googling Magnet Designs. All right, my friend, I'm excited for this. I'm trying to think of the last time I've had somebody besides a different co-host ask me trivia. So I think this might be the first time.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see, and you guys can follow along and tell Carl if I'm lying or tell Carl if he's lying by getting the questions wrong. That's what we call it. When you get a question wrong, you're lying.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you're morally decrepit. Okay, to echo something that we talked about in this episode. True or false, Carl? Down sleeping bags are useless if they get wet.
Well, dude, I mean, I suppose I have to believe what you said earlier.
True or false?
Let's just say false.
False. You're right. I was correct earlier. This is my way of getting reaffirmation. So like my ideas were good ideas.
I'm just making sure that you understand what I was saying, Carl.
Yeah, exactly. This is testing you on the things I was saying.
Right.
While performance drops significantly, modern down and treated down can still retain some loft and warmth. Therefore, it's degraded, not useless.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay, so you got that right.
Thank you.
Good. Next one. You should never run away from a grizzly. And if you do, it is best to A.
This is a great question, by the way. This is great. This is maybe my favorite question ever right here.
For multiple choices, you'll have to determine. There are.
You should never run from a grizzly. But if you do, what are your best options? This is awesome. I love this.
There are lies intermixed within these multiple choice.
I love this.
Okay, you should never run away from a grizzly bear. And if you do, it is best to A, run downhill. Grizzlies can't run downhill. B, running is always a bad idea. C, run through water. Grizzlies are slow in the water.
So
or D, run up a tree. Grizzlies can't climb.
Okay, well, I've seen videos of grizzlies like going 40 miles an hour downhill. So no, it's not that one. I don't know about the water one, but I know that I'm slow in the water, so that doesn't make sense. And I know that bears can climb trees, so it's got to be the like don't run, letter B, right?
No, you can sometimes run. Running is not always a bad idea. It's not always.
Okay.
Sometimes you need to run. Like if somebody else is getting attacked, you might have to run. No, listen, I don't know if this is scientifically accurate.
Okay, so the water one?
Somebody else. No, I've been told. I've heard it a lot of times up here in Canada. I can't guarantee a ranger's told me, but I'm pretty sure as a kid I heard it in one of those like interpretive centers that grizzly bears can't run as fast going downhill. Maybe I worded the question wrong. That they run slow because they're heavy. They're top heavy, so they have to run slower, but they can run uphill crazy fast.
All right.
Listen,
You're in grizzly territory, man. Like
I might be lying.
Your backyards and
that might be like a Canadian myth, and I'd really be curious for somebody to check me that. But like the Canadian myth is grizzlies can't run as fast downhill. Of course, they can still run downhill.
Even at half speed, like 20 miles an hour is faster than me. So.
But still, like going through trees, like if you're able to jump over some logs, run behind some trees, deke in and out, a big, heavy grizzly running downhill has to go way slower, way more careful than if it's chasing you up a hill.
I don't know. Like, so I was just in Sequoia National Park last summer, and there was like off the trail, it was just littered with just logs and sharp sticks and just deadfall from trees. And I just saw a bear bound through it like it was nothing. I was like, dude, if I just take a step in that area, I'm gonna like impale myself with a stick. And the bear was just like boop, 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 almost like a deer going through that stuff. So it wasn't a grizzly, but it was a black bear. I don't know.
I'm asking ChatGPT right now to see if I'm lying to you, Carl. Let's see. It says, yes, they can run extremely fast, both uphill and downhill. And the idea that they're slow running uphill is a myth. No, that I know. The idea that they're running downhill.
I think I'm taking the win on this one.
You know what? My trivia question might have been a lie in itself. So you failed because you didn't tell me that the question was a lie. Okay.
I challenge you in a polite way, but all right. Okay, it was still a fun question. What's your third question?
Bidets are not good in the. No, I'm just joking.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Here, I've led kids camps in the past, and I was always told as a kids camp leader to tell the kids, clear and copious urine always means that you are properly hydrated. True or false? Clear and copious.
Okay, what's copious? What does that even mean?
Like a lot. You want lots of pee, and for it to be clear.
That's a good vocabulary word right there. All right, I'm gonna say.
I know we would tell like grade 1s and 2s this, and I'm like, what grade 1 or 2er knows what copious?
Yeah,
means?
they don't. Well, now they do because you're teaching them. But I'm gonna say false because I think it needs to be like lemonade colored.
Oh, you are correct. You got it. Nailed it.
Okay.
Clear can actually indicate overhydration, which means you're diluting your electrolytes and lead to hyperanatremia.
Right.
Pale yellow is usually the better target.
Okay. So you were a liar too.
I was to the kids.
Yes.
It's true. But I was paid to lie, so it's different.
It's
right?
better that way.
Yeah, better that way.
All right, I got a couple tidbits. All right, first one I got, this is shout out to Jack, who's been messaging me on Instagram. I don't know I think he's going back through some of our older episodes and the Ranger Annie encounter episodes in Yosemite, and we've kind of joked over the years about like coming across her again because she was a character. he like tried to find her. And so he's like sending me pictures of rangers named Annie, asking me like, is this the one? Is this the one? And he's strangely like kind of close on a couple. I'm like, well, the description of this ranger is 100% describing Ranger Annie, but she looks a little bit too old, or this one looks like her, but she wasn't in Yosemite at the time. And he's like, it was like pretty interesting that he came so close.
I don't know if that's impressive or creepy, but
Well, he's not like, chasing her down. He's like internet searching stuff.
What's his name?
Jack,
my advice to you, Backpacker Hotline, would be probably cease and desist before you get a restraining order from
fair.
Ranger Annie.
That's
we
fair.
know what she's like. As soon as you find her, she's going to blacklist you. So like, don't find her. Don't do it.
What's funny about that is like we had Eric Hansen on the show where like a ranger like truly tried to blacklist him, not just from the Grand Canyon, but from all national parks, and he had to go to court for that. And I was like, all right, whatever I experienced was nothing compared to what he experienced. So
That's crazy. Is that because he almost killed Dan Becker, like America's national treasure, backpacking treasure? He's like, you almost killed Dan Becker,
That's what
our
it was.
national treasure.
That's what
You're
it
not
was.
allowed to go to any national park. I could see it. Like,
I don't think you've heard that episode yet. That's a good one. You should check that one out.
No, I need to check it out.
Yeah,
for
he's
sure.
a good dude. All right, I'm gonna now reveal my secret weight shaving strategy that people have actually been asking about. So I've already mentioned this before. They want to know the specifics.
This is once in every 8 years,
Correct.
people. He has a good idea,
Correct.
so listen up.
Yes. So, and then now that I'm saying that people think it's a good idea, I'm sure I'm going to get feedback to the opposite, saying, actually, that's terrible.
I will probably tell you it's awful.
They want to know how I'm cutting like almost half a pound with packaging, but specifically they want to know how I'm doing that with the freeze-dried meals.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay?
You got
All right.
me.
So what I do is if I'm going on a multi-day trip, so I'm bringing one freeze-dried meal that's fully packaged. The rest of my freeze-dried meals, I'm taking out of the packaging and I'm putting in Ziploc bags, and I'm actually labeling them with a Sharpie. The Ziploc bags are, for whatever reason, significantly lighter weight than the packaging. And so if you're so obviously the more days you're going, the more weight you're saving with this. This by itself isn't going to save you half a pound, but this plus the other packaging will. Anyway, so what I do is I'll eat that fully packaged meal first, night one. Then I'll rinse it out, pour the Ziploc bag food in, and I'll also mark like how much water is required. And then I'll just keep on reusing that first dehydrated bag over and over again until I'm done with the trip. So you can be like very meticulous about rinsing it out, or you can be gross, which I might be leaning more towards, and not be as thorough. So that's the secret.
That's good. I mean, so here's a quick question. Do you reduce the size of your dehydrated meals? Like, do you do 3, like, cause I've seen some people where they're like, I only ever eat half a dehydrated meal.
Oh,
so
right,
I do
right.
half of or 2/3 of a dehydrated meal. Do you do that? Or-
I don't, because I want the full meal.
Yeah, okay.
Either I'm going on a trip where I need all the calories because I'm like, it's a hard trip, or the trip is so easy that I might just skip the meal altogether. It just depends. It's like there's not usually any like in between. But I will say, speaking of size though, just by putting it into the Ziploc bag, a couple interesting observations. First of all, you are reducing quite a bit of packaging space.
Yeah.
But the other surprising thing is, like, when you see actually how much food you're actually spending like $15 to $20 for, you're like, dude, that's all I'm getting for $15 to $20?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's a ripoff.
I like this idea. It is like definitely not good on the single-use plastics kind of things, but I mean, you're using single-use Mylar bags anyways. You're just doubling the amount of that. But
Right, and good luck trying to not use single-use plastics in the backcountry, for sure.
Yeah, it's true. I hear you. I like this idea. I do something very similar, but for just my breakfasts. So I will I'll start off with like a breakfast skillet, which is a Mylar bag, and then from that point forward, all the other days, I'll put my like oatmeal packets into my Mylar bag and use that for my breakfasts.
Okay,
And so it's
that's
like,
next level.
Yeah,
right there.
same idea as
Okay.
kind of what you do. And but I've never thought to take it to the next level and do it for my lunches. And I really like that idea.
I appreciate that, and it's not like this is earth-shattering idea. It's more just that when I weighed all the packaging, like the beef jerky packaging and all that stuff, like I was surprised at how much it weighed, and then it's just like an easy way to shave weight and compact things down. So
I don't think I'd do that. Like for me, I don't think it'd be worth the time and hassle for like a weekend trip or maybe even a 4 or 5 day trip.
Right.
But like looking back on my through hike, like I really wish I would have done that, because like honestly, packing my food bag was so hard. And you're right, like doing just Ziploc bags would be so much easier. and talk about weight savings. You're right. I can understand you shaving almost.
I wouldn't do it for an overnight. I would do it for like if a trip that I was concerned about, doing well with, even if like a 4 or 5 day trip. I would do it for that, but definitely
an ambitious trip.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, great.
All right, last announcement I got is we've got the Winter of Range trip coming up in August. I have not started signups, but those are starting in the next couple weeks. So consider joining Patreon for that, or just to help keep the show going. It really does keep the show going. And are you considering that trip? I forget.
August. I had to look. No, I don't think so. I think if I can't make the June one, I don't think I can make any of them.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get you on one trip one day.
We'll have to talk about it.
But
Yeah. No, I'd love to.
All right.
And with that, please subscribe to get more of the truth from me and more lies probably from Carl.
And remember, folks, never lie to your radiologist. They'll see right through you. Have a good week and God bless.
I want to fly around the world.
B&B, how you doing? It's Rock, and I hope everybody's doing well. I know somebody who's doing well, and that is Jennifer. Thank you for all your continued prayers. I've been thinking a lot. You know what I've been thinking about? I've been thinking a lot about lies told by the experts. One lie, I'm just going to go through 3. One of them is that evolution is true, is fact. That'd be a lie. It takes way too much faith for a guy like me to believe that evolution could have happened. You know what I mean? Just way too much faith. Then, another big lie, number 2. The Bible is full of contradictions. Every time somebody says that lie, and I've asked them to show me a contradiction, they never have. Or they've made a very feeble effort, and I've gone, hey, why don't you look at this part of the Bible? Just wait, hold on, let's reread what that says. And it just debunks their lie, just because the Bible's God's word. And, it was written by imperfect man, but it doesn't have any contradictions in it. And then last but not least, I think the biggest lie ever is that some people, some so-called experts say that Jesus was not God, nor did he claim to be God. If that's the case, then why on earth would the Israelite high priest tear his clothes and cry out blasphemy after Jesus said, I'm becoming on the clouds of heaven. You'll see the Son of Man, coming on the clouds of heaven and all this type of stuff. High priest tears his clothes. Why? Because Jesus right there was claiming he was God. And I'd say he delivered. Nobody ever found his dead body. You know what I mean? His disciples, they were a mess when he was crucified. And yet, just only a few weeks later, they had the boldness to die for him. You're not going to die for a lie, especially after you have fled the scene of the murder of the one that you believed in. So those 3 big lies, I know they'd probably have to really unpack them a lot more, all 3 of them. Those are definitely lies the experts told you. And as we can see from this episode, those are not the only lies out there. There's lies that the so-called backpacking experts have told you. Folks, I encourage you, debunk those lies and don't give in to them, not even for a second. Go for first.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.